ResidentRockstar.com, and I'm here with Arcanium. And over here we got
Seth, bass.
Jez, keyboardist.
Jason, lead vocal.
Charlie, drums.
Adam, guitar.
Riggs, guitar.
nice. So let's start off with a little brief history about the band. When did you guys start?
Well, we formed originally in March of 2007.
All right, that's a while ago. And you guys are obviously from Colorado, right? You're all from this area, Fort Collins, Loveland area.
Yeah.
So, what style of music best describes you guys?
I'll fucking know.
I used to actually call us innovative metal because, you know, that question's been asked a lot, and we just couldn't really think of any particular genre that we fit into, so we just kind of made up our own innovative metal, or just metal, you know, we're just metal.
Yeah, your guys' sound touches on a lot of different areas. Like, what are some of your major influences?
Gojira.
Yes.
Oh, God.
What about you, Sherman?
Divine Heresy.
I like Slipknot and a lot of new metal stuff in my band.
Yes.
I say Slipknot and 9 Inch Nails.
Clutch. Hank 3, Queen Cambria.
I've had several. It's not all metal either. I mean, I've liked Kiss, Slayer, Pearl Jam.
Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber.
Don't forget that guy.
He's got a good movie, but no, I'm not into his music.
Now we can totally tag the video.
But yeah, Gojira. I like almost all metal from old to new. So.
Right. Cool. So what kind of previous projects have you guys been in? I know like a lot of you guys have been in other bands,
I was in Pulsate for a while.
right? Another great local band. What about Ben?
I was in a band called Forced Religion in the early 90s up in Montana. And I was also in a band locally called United by Chaos.
I was in Audio Flux for a couple of years.
Okay. What about Charlie? We did it a
Born
lot.
by Flies, The Mandrake, and Terror Throne.
Those are the most recent ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Jim's
now
been in a couple
Arcanium.
too, huh?
Yeah, I sang for a band called Deadless. That was back in like year 2000 we got together. And then we did a short period of time with a band called Trial 6. And that was while I was still doing Deadless. And then after all that fell apart, it started.
Here's a question I get from some of your fans sometimes. What happened to all the makeup? You guys used to wear, or at least Riggs used to wear makeup, and some of you guys wore like strange eye contact lenses and stuff when you first started out. What happened to that sort of deal?
Well, there was a few different reasons for that, actually. It was sort of a recommendation from a manager at the time, and we actually all kind of disagreed with it.
Right?
But, you know, kind of took one for the team, sort of, you know, and we just did what we were, recommended to do. And then shortly after that, we went on a tour. And I was, thankful at that point that we actually got rid of the makeup because it took me 3 hours every show to get ready.
Yeah.
And to have to do that every night on a tour would have just been ridiculous. And I think we all also agree that having a more neutral look, we have less of a chance of alienating some metal fans that aren't totally into that kind of appearance thing. So,
And you
that's true.
created that character, Kate, right?
I did.
And you came up with the makeup all yourself and everything. So that's your little
And
thing.
because I got rid of that character, I got rid of that name as well. I decided to use my real given last name as Riggs, and that's why there was my name change as well. So.
Right. And you guys all had like nicknames in the beginning, except for Adam, because you just recently joined the band this past
He had
year,
one.
right?
He did have
You
one.
did?
For a very short time.
But you guys got rid of all that, right? You're just going by your regular names now.
Yeah. When we first started, it was more like, we didn't really have a recording or any way to really get a recording, but the rumor was out there that a bunch of us had got together and we were from all these different bands and people were just like going crazy about it. So we used our image to create like a shock shock image.
Try and get some attention.
Yeah, to create attention and stir shit up. So, I mean, it obviously didn't do bad for us.
Right.
Because even with having that image and everything, we got really far. And
Right.
we obtained a manager who put us on tours, significant tours as well. So.
Right. Let's talk a little bit about your tour. You were on tour last year with Megadeth, is that right?
Last year we went out with both my Valentine.
Okay.
Year before that
2009
was
2009 was Megadeth, 2010.
So that's a couple of substantial tours for you. How was that experience for you?
I'd say the Bullet tour was different because we were more aware of what was going on every night. We were more confident in ourselves, and that first tour was, I mean, we were out with Megadeth, Machine Head, Suicide Silence, and we were freaking out every night.
Right.
I get goosebumps thinking about it. You know, it was amazing, but it was more like we were in training and we kept
We were
really
lost.
focused.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we had no idea.
it was
what to
scary
expect.
going out and seeing sold out crowds, you know. But the
Right.
Bullet tour, I think we were all a lot more comfortable just with everything. We were more loose, just had more fun. I felt like I had a lot more fun.
And both tours had a different audience, you know.
Right. Totally
And
different.
the cool thing
bands,
about
yeah.
both those tours is we were well accepted by both audiences in different countries.
Yeah, that's good. So, were you on tour with them for that?
Me and Charlie were nuts.
No, you guys did. You guys just recently joined the band. When did you join the band?
October 2010.
And then you just joined on.
In September.
So
The
those
band
are,
is more tight now than ever. We're gonna swing some tours as well.
Right.
My money.
definitely. And Adam didn't replace anybody, right? You just added us another guitar player.
Yeah, no replacements.
And then Charlie actually replaced Tom.
Yeah.
And so we'll talk a little bit about Tom later. But what are some of the favorite places you played when you were out on tour? Like,
So many. Go ahead, Seth.
Oh Lord. The rave always sticks out in my mind. I mean, Milwaukee, huge old building, crazy. Just we had a lot of fun there. It wasn't necessarily the performance part, but just the fun we had before and after. That's what sticks out.
Yeah, seriously.
any other shows?
And
or
Dahmer's famous hotel is like
Right across
Nice.
the Ambassador Hotel.
Nice.
And actually, a funny story too is when we were there with Megadeth and Bullet for my Valentine, but when we went through with Bullet, I went and I got some food down the street, and when I was coming back, I looked at Bullet's bus and they had this sign in the window that says, "Love your work, Jeff." And I was like, yes. But yeah, that place is definitely one of the funnest venues because they have so many there's stories of hauntings and children dying in the Olympic-sized pool in the basement, and you're supposed to be able to hear these voices, and so we did a lot of searching around and just having a good
kind of
time.
wandering around. Nice.
one of my favorite shows though was the Great Saltaire.
Yeah,
That was
the
awesome.
Grand Saltaire.
Grand?
Yeah.
What was that all about?
In Utah. I don't know, it's just that place was, we actually started the show and there was still light coming in from, the
Daylight?
windows. Yeah,
It was like a plexiglass or something.
Yeah.
It was see-through on top.
Yeah, but we came out and the place was already packed from front to back, and this place was huge. And these big stairways that went up to these balconies, and those had people lined all the way around.
Nice.
But they were with us through our whole set. I mean, they were like fist pumping front to back.
Nice. So you were really well
Yeah.
received there.
Jay was
Yeah.
like, everybody dance, everybody's like, whoa, and it was just awesome. It was awesome. No better word.
It sounds like a great experience. What are some of your memorable experiences with fans and stuff when you're on tour? What was something that stuck out to you?
Well, I gotta tell you, I think we were out with Megadeth, and we were in Knoxville, and this kid comes up and he goes, "Hey, I got a tattoo of Pac-Man on my ass. Will you guys sign it?"
Oh yeah.
I do remember
So we're
that.
like, "Whip it out, dude." So he whips out his ass, and we all fucking sign him right on his Pac-Man tattoo.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that was definitely a strange experience. As far as something that felt really good and was really cool, there's this guy, and he was at both shows in Milwaukee, and he came in and he's like, "Yeah, I wrote this book," and he gave us a copy of this book and stuff, and he's telling us how he researches bands and goes out to shows all the time. That's what he does and stuff. And then Sure enough, we go back through with Bullet, and there he is again, and he's like waiting outside our bus so we can hang out and get some merch and talk to us about whatever you want to talk about. But that was really cool to talk to him. I think we stood there and talked to him for about 20 minutes.
It was cool. And I read a lot of his book. That was the name was.
We should make a name drop it on.
I wish I could name drop him, but he's been a fan of metal since he was a kid. He chronicles that and all that in his book. And I thought it was really cool that he dug us so much because
Well, maybe he'll see this and he can drop us a line and we'll plug him.
Yeah.
There we go.
So.
There it is.
That sounds really cool. That's a repeat offender there. And another person coming back.
Oh, and that's happened a few times too. Also in San Francisco, I think has got to be one of the best shows we played. I mean, that was on the Bullet tour, and we went out there and it was sold out, and from front to back, it was like a mosh pit the whole time. I mean, if I said jump, they were fucking jumping in the air so high. It was phenomenal, and a lot of people came to meet us after, and we're like thankful that we were there. And that was a really fun show.
Yeah. That's gotta be a memorable experience. I'm gonna cherish the rest of your life. Yeah. What's your favorite part of being in Arcanium? It's like kindergarten share time.
I can tell you, my favorite part is playing the shows.
Yeah.
I mean, I like writing and recording and all that, to an extent, but the payoff is playing live. I love. It doesn't last long enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's over so quick every time you get up there.
Right. Time flies when you're having fun, right?
Yeah.
So,
for me, my favorite part of being in the band, and of course it's playing live shows, and that is the funnest part, but I think my favorite part is being able to express my life experiences and have people relate to that and talk about it and connect with people on that kind of level. I think it's really unique when people come up and say, I'm listening to your lyrics, or I'm reading your lyrics, and I say this and that, and that to me is like, feels really good.
yeah, I think singers connect at a different level than the rest of the band, maybe because they do write most of the lyrics. When they do write the lyrics, because you hear the fans singing your lyrics back, it's gotta be an amazing experience.
Love it.
Yeah.
And all of the above, like still connecting with fans, that's definitely my number one.
I think I really like the camaraderie especially in this band. It's weird that, when Adam joined, it wasn't, hey, let's find the guitars. It's like, hey, let's get Adam. We already wanted him. We all get along so well, and we've known Charlie for freaking ever. We've been playing with him, we went to high school together. Same with these two. For me, it's cool to be able to share all of this shit that we go through, all the good and bad, and still just, it's a weird bond that we all have together.
Yeah, you find a lot of that around this area. All of us have done. We all went to school together and grew up together.
Right.
So yeah, that's a really interesting point to make because there is a lot of that. It's like kind of like a family.
It's a total
yeah.
family.
And then
It's so tight that Seth tries to kiss me almost every
Try. We're making out every second.
Okay, I kiss him.
Yeah,
I kiss him.
I could see that happening.
But when you gotta live with someone too, we basically live together when we're on the road. So.
You guys are all married to each other, basically.
Pete, me jealous.
Yeah.
Color me jealous.
Were you a good kid or a bad kid growing up?
Bad.
Horrible. That was pretty good.
I was always in trouble. Always.
Yeah, you were always in trouble.
Didn't matter what I had my hands in, it was trouble.
I was bad, I just didn't get caught.
Right, so you're good at being bad.
Yeah.
I looked like an angel. That was about it.
Okay. You still kind of look like that. You got a little
That glow.
Reflection off his bald head.
Oh no, that's a reflection off that 666 right there.
That's about it.
Hey, those fallen angel, but I look.
Hey, 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 hey.
I bet Jess was a good girl.
That's pretty good.
Here's another fun one to throw in. What's your can't live without piece of clothing?
My chones.
Can't live without those, right?
Yeah, gotta have something holding those balls up.
Keep it nice and snug against your body. That way he can reproduce.
Can't live without a piece of clothing.
It's a hard one, right?
Yeah, it is.
Where do you go with that? If you had to leave the house with only one thing on, what would it be?
Shoes.
Shoes.
A sock. A sock.
That's great. That's great.
If I have to wear something, I'll wear shoes.
Right.
I mean, pretty small sock.
So, I said earlier that
Blanket with
Charlie had
sleeves.
replaced Tommy, so let's talk a little bit about the new members. You guys added Adam, and obviously you added a second guitar, so what was behind that? Where did that come from?
Well, I mean, you know, me and Riggs, we were talking about it for a long time. It was really, and we were just like, well, who? I mean, we don't know who, and we didn't really want to look, and there was just so much, we're just like, fuck, should we or not? And we were just talking one day, and Adam came up, and we both were just kind of like, yeah.
So you guys had heard him play with someone else, or?
Well, we saw him in Audio Flux a few times, and we knew like he could throw down. He had a cool image, you know, and we knew he was a great guitar player. So when he came up, like it was just like.
So you didn't
let's
have
call
any
him.
tryouts or anything. You just picked Adam and you took it.
Yep, we just went with him, and we treated it. As far as he knew, we treated it like, you know, whatever audition.
Right.
But we knew when he came, and he'd already learned 9 songs in one
Thanks for
week.
making me nervous.
It was a
You're
test.
competing against 10 people on stage.
Yeah,
in front of
you
you.
Bowser.
So, and ultimately in the end, I mean, we wanted to make the music more full. We wanted to have a new influence that would bring, you know, more innovation.
Right. He's got a distinctive guitar style. I noticed when he's on stage.
Yeah.
He's not like everybody else with the black label style.
I've been
solos
watching-
all the time, and he's got some real different sound, and it's good. It's different. I like
I've
it.
been actually watching him in Audio Flux for you. Just every time I go to their show, I'd stand in front of him and watch him play.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'd do the
then
same
he would
thing
do the
to
same thing to me, and it made me all nervous, and I'm like, and I don't know why,
They
for
would
the
be
life
nervous at my show.
for the life of me, his name never came up, you know, as a second guitar player, probably because he was already in the band, so
Right.
you don't even
And
think about it.
they were pretty successful too, right? That band was
Audio
doing all
Flux.
right. Let's talk a little bit about Tommy leaving the band. How did that happen? What was that all about?
Well, I mean, in the end, it just came down to basically we were going one direction and he was wanting to go another direction, and so creative differences kind of separated us in the end. I mean, I love Tommy, we've known him forever, but it was time to part ways there.
Because after Tom left, you guys brought Charlie in to replace him. And Tom obviously played drums and he did some programming. And I don't think Charlie does any programming, but he's an awesome drummer. So you brought him in to replace him. And is he your first and only choice, or did you have an audition? What were you thinking when that happened?
Initially, he was our first and only choice, and only by the choice of Charlie did we get audition anyone else.
Right.
I made them do the right thing.
Yeah, we brought Charlie in and they were like, look,
You guys made such a mistake with Adam.
You gotta do this the right way.
You gotta check your options, you know. I didn't want to feel like the only option, you know.
and that was understandable in the way he explained it. So I was like, okay, man. Like, so we just started looking for drummers. So we put out some ads, we called people we knew, we got the word out there, and we actually ended up auditioning, I think, 7 drummers.
Wow.
And we had some fun with it too, because what we did is we got 3 people in the finals, and then we brought everybody to the same practice and had them play the same 3 songs right after each other by the flip of a coin. I think we drew straws.
Yeah.
So that must have been kind of nerve-wracking.
And I had to go first.
So, but yeah, that's how it happened. And then, you know, at the end of all that, we just decided that he was still the best fit. I mean, not only does he look cool and fucking he plays drums well, but we've known him for a long time, and you know, it felt right.
So did you completely blow the other guys away, or?
We just told him, well, Charlie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
just
But
told
to the
him.
respect of the other drummers,
Oh, it was,
it was still
It was
a
close
tough
to me.
decision. But I think at the end of the day, we already had Charlie's name in our head
Right.
for it all. But I'm glad we did it
it was.
To let
See
you
what
know
else is
who's
out
out there, you know.
And here was the one thing too, between the other drummers and Charlie that made Charlie stand out was Charlie already could play to a click track, and the other two drummers had not done it. We started them on it, and they started doing it with us. But when Charlie came in with a click, it was over. He was on it.
That was a good experience for the other drummers too then.
Yeah.
And even, you know, and Lauren and Johnny,
Yeah.
they both said that they probably will never go without a click again, and that's probably going to help you guys.
That's awesome.
That's good. It's always good when you
I
can
like to
share
hear that.
knowledge with people. So what about you, Charlie? How did you feel in the competition? Were you nervous? Did they,
Yeah, oh yeah. I
they-
mean, they were good drummers. I've been around them for a long time, and it was very close to me. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna get it, you know? Fuck.
Yeah, you're really modest.
It was
Yeah.
super close because at one point or another, I was thinking one of those three, and I could never really get my finger on which one. Like, that guy's really good for this reason. He's really good for this reason. But when it came down to the final three, and we had that night, it was just
Fucking nailed it.
he nailed everything.
Yeah, well,
I was like, all right, that's it, easy pick.
and then you guys just recently opened for Mushroom Head on the 10th. What was that experience like for you?
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, those guys are all cool. They're amazing live show. I'd love to go on tour with them some point in time, you know. All super cool dudes. Hung out with them after the show and stuff. And me and Waylon, actually, he's the guy that replaced J-Man back a few years. And we were hanging out in the back talking, and he actually sang one of his songs with me called Save Us. And we were going back and forth between his parts. And actually, one part that was really funny is, you know, I sang his first line, and then he sang his second line, and then Jeffrey Nothing's line were both all.
Just silent, fill the blank.
We're like, you know, Jeff's not here, so just let it go. But it was a really good time, and those guys are great, and I hope we get to tour with them someday out there in the circuit. But yeah, it was definitely a kick-ass show and a great crowd and good response, and we had a blast.
Yeah, those guys are definitely pretty awesome.
Awesome to me too. I've been a big fan of theirs for a long time.
Yeah, they put on an excellent stage show.
Yeah.
Adam's a new fan too.
Yeah.
Adam's a new fan. Yeah, I'm definitely a big
I've
fan
known
of
him
theirs.
for a long
Oh
time.
yeah.
So, let's go over some of your goals for the band. Like, what are you guys planning on doing in the future? Are you gonna go on touring? Are you gonna make a CD?
We got a new CD that we're in the studio for right now. So Adam is our master engineer here at Arcanium Studios,
Nice.
and he'll be doing all the guitars and bass and keys, and he'll be doing some of my vocals. And then Charlie and I will go out with rigs, and we'll all finish up the final project out in Chicago.
Nice. So, who are you guys working with on that out there?
It's a gentleman named Scott. He doesn't necessarily have a studio. Our managers are out there, and this is an engineer that they trust and want to do the drums.
Recommendation.
And we're gonna, you know, do a little pre-production out there with some of the vocals. And really tighten it up here. Finish it up there.
Field trip. That's always good. So, what is some of the motivation behind the album that you're working on? Where are you coming from with that?
Motivation behind a new album.
Motivation. Get on the tour.
Yeah, we want to make the CD so we can tour.
I think that personally, from where I'm at, and just playing with this band and us, we're at a whole new level. I mean, Charlie entering, we got Adam, and it's made all of us step up our game. Jay is just, I've always liked his lyrics, but lately I'm really digging a lot of the more just aggressiveness, and I think we're at another level.
Really up
And
your
we
game?
need to capture this on the disc because it's gonna be good.
There's a lot, you know, there's a lot of stories to tell, and I won't give away too much, but just get the album. See.
Right. So one of the songs that you guys have, that's a new song that you've been opening your shows with recently, is called "Bury the Hatchet." So what's a little bit about that? Can you tell anything about that?
Well, you know, it's more of a life lesson, honestly. I mean, a lot of people can relate to it because obviously if you want to bury the hatchet, you want to put it behind you. And there are a lot of things that this band has had to put behind them, in the past even year. So starting with that, and then just using some life experiences to write some lyrics that mean something and can relate to other people is really where that song's going. I mean, you can relate it to whatever you want. If you want to bury your ex-wife in the backyard, you want to bury the fact that you killed a puppy when you were 7. I don't care. But either way, you will be able to relate to those lyrics, and there is a lot of derogatory remarks in there that do go out to one person in particular for me, but I'm not going to say that name, but you guys can make up what you want about it. So.
Yeah, it's a good song. I've heard it a couple times in your last couple performances at the Summit and then at the Aggie, and it really gets the crowd going. They seem to really like that song, so I'm looking forward to hearing the rest of the album.
That's the song that actually got, we had it on the college radio and made it up to like number.
Yeah, on the CMJ metal charts, it was like number 7 in some spots, and then it was definitely within the top 20 for like 3 weeks.
Nice.
So it was really.
It was up there with a lot of household names.
Radio plays
Five
really
Finger
good.
Death Punch, All Shall Perish. There was a lot of
Devil Driver.
Yeah, Devil Driver, and even our buddies in Dirge Within.
Yeah, we were right up there at the Big Wiz, so that was.
What words of wisdom would you give to someone starting out?
Don't oversaturate the scene.
Yeah. Make sure you space out your shows enough to where, like, your fans can't choose between. Well, I know they're playing tonight and they really need support, but they're also playing next week, so we'll go then. Because then all you're doing is separating everything. Try to get it so that you're playing one big show in one big area, at least every couple of weeks. And I recommend once a month. Play your big shows once a month, and then do what you can and never give up, right?
Never fucking give up.
Yeah.
And learn your fucking instrument. Learn your fucking instrument.
For reals, not just faking it, right?
Yeah.
Right on. So, at the end of a project, what do you guys find most satisfying about the work that you've done?
The final listening to it, like this album. I can't wait until we drop this album because I want to hear all of it together. Like, we've heard it at practice and we played some of them on live shows and stuff, but to have it all come together and have it on a disc and see it physically and hold it and go, wow, we accomplished this, we got this now. I think that for me is one of the biggest things.
Right.
I don't know about anybody else, but that is definitely the payoff for me.
I know I'm looking forward to hearing it.
It's definitely awesome to have the disc in your hand at the end. It's like,
So, who does all your artwork and stuff? Like, where does all that come from? From Riggs?
Up to this point, I've done a lot of it.
Yeah.
I mean, while Razor was in the band, he did some sketch work and whatever, but most of the graphic art stuff I do online. I created the Arcanium Alliance logo. And so I pretty much have designed all the artwork.
Did you just teach yourself how to do that, or did you
Yep.
go to school?
Yep.
Yeah.
I taught myself how to do it.
It's pretty awesome. You did a pretty good job for not going to college for it.
There's a lot you can learn off of, Google videos and all kinds of things.
Yeah, I learned a lot of my stuff out of it too.
He's very good.
So, all right, let's go on. Let's see here. Are your guys' family and friends supportive of what you guys are doing?
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
No. I'm sure your parents love it.
They do, actually.
Yeah. Growing
They
up with you,
come-
I'd bet they were really proud.
Well, I will never let my parents go to another show ever again. And this is the one reason why. My 30th birthday, we were on tour with Bullet. We were playing the Gothic. It was awesome. We had the next day off. It was great.
And it was your
Everybody-
birthday.
That's my 30th, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody showed up. My mom ended up falling down those dark stairs from the balcony. She went back to my house. We had to take her to the emergency room that night. 7 staples to her cranium,
Nice.
shattered wrist. Wow. I spent my 30th birthday in the emergency room. So.
But you love your mom.
Of course. Of course, she brought me into the world.
And she let
The
you finish
least I
playing
could-
the show, didn't she?
Of course.
That's right. That's 'cause your
My
mom's
folks
hardcore.
are divorced, and we on tour went through Billings, Montana, and that's where I'm from, is Montana. Both my folks showed up, and my stepdad was there, and they all stood in the back, kind of together in this little group, and watched our show. And afterwards, I think it was my dad asked him, "So what'd you think?" He goes, yep, sounded like all the other bands up there. You did good. And then he goes, I'll probably never come to another one.
But he was proud of you.
Yes, he was proud, and he showed up. You know, they're proud of me, and he showed up for the show.
I can say my parents came to the same one that Seth's parents were at with Bullet for My Valentine, and they had a great time. They've always been supportive, even in my other bands and stuff. And I think all the way around, family and friends are definitely, they're always there, and they're always willing to help in any way that they can. Even you guys.
Right.
My
Feels
mom
good to me.
goes anytime she can. Goes for shows. So.
Does your mom live around here?
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, let's see here. Let's ask a couple fun ones really quick. What do you guys have, like a pet peeve when you're at a show? Like what something that really ticks you off that you don't want to deal with?
Yeah, when they move your set time 40 minutes back.
Yeah.
Or 40 minutes up, you mean like earlier in the show?
Right, earlier.
The drunk asshole in the front of the crowd yelling your band name all retarded like.
Unless he's the only person there.
Right, unless he's your only fan. Anybody else got a pet peeve?
I'm sure there is. I just can't.
Broken guitar strings on stage.
Yeah, that sucks. What would your epitaph be if you died tomorrow? Is there a leak?
Mine would say, what is an epitaph?
I would say he died doing what he loved to do.
It's a shame.
Okay.
It's true though.
No matter what you do, you love it though, right?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Made room for the next guy.
It's a good one.
But I'm not going to answer it. I don't know.
Mine would be, oops, that was a bad idea.
Nice.
Right on. So, let's talk a little about your website. What's your website address?
It's www.arcanium.info, and you can go there. You can get all the updates. There's Facebook plugins and Twitter plugins and all that, so you can tweet and you can like everything on our pages.
Hey, we don't do drugs anymore. Oh, tweet.
Some tweeter came and stole all my stuff off my porch.
Damn,
And look, this
tweeters.
bag of shit on fire.
So, how much control do you guys have over your website? Who does all your website stuff?
We basically have all the control. All we do is submit it to the guy that uploads it, and I mean, other than that, we can control. We do all the tour dates and we upload the pictures, but when there's like a video or a song change, that has to be done through the site, and that is the Edge Factory. You want a good website, man, go to the Edge Factory, and yeah, they do really well.
So do they lay out everything for you?
They'll lay it out and they'll work with you.
And so
It's what you want, and you can tell them if you want to change it, they'll change it for you. And
So maybe Riggs comes up with something and then you give it to them and they incorporate it into your
They
website
could do that,
somehow.
yeah.
they could, yes, but generally when we come up with something, it's pretty good already because he's awesome. So
Yeah.
like they just upload it how we have it.
Nice.
But the guy's name is Eddie Karam, and that's the Edge Factory.
Awesome.
I'm not sure where they're out of, but you can look it up online and find it, I'm sure.
Sweet. So, what about your Facebook and do you have a MySpace and a Twitter and stuff like that? Who answers fans on those things? Like,
I generally do a lot of it. I know that Riggs is on there quite a bit too, but we've got everything plugged into Reverb Nation, so we can go on Reverb Nation and we'll plug in MySpace, Twitter, and Facebook, and we are on all those sites. And whatever you say on Reverb Nation will show up on all those pages.
nice. So sweet. And also, you guys are on my website, which is residentrockstar.com. And that's where this interview will be posted. So I think that's about it. This is an interview with Arcanium. Check them out on arcanium.info.
Takes what it takes for me to be ready for tomorrow. I shouldn't have to start over again.